Well, hello and welcome to Ask the Doctor. My name's Jerry McGee and I'll be the host for today's show. We're here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Wellness Associates with Dr. Eugene Goldberg. Dr. Goldberg, thank you very much for your time. On today's episode, Doc, we want to talk about this thing called asthma. I know a lot of people are dealing with it. And, a lot of people are asking, is there a chiropractic connection
Yes.
For asthma and how can we help these people?
People don't realize that all the nerves in your neck go through the whole body. The nerves in your neck actually go into your chest, go into your lungs, which affects the functioning performance of your lungs. Also, the nerves in your upper back. Those nerves control and innervate the lungs. So therefore, if you have hard bone out of position, pressing on soft nerve in the neck or upper back, that's going to affect that cell, that organ, that muscle, and it's going to affect the functioning and performance of that cell, that organ, that muscle. For instance, your heart and your lungs. So there's definitely a chiropractic connection, and we can help people.
I think a lot of people, on a lot of these situations that we discuss, I think the big problem is they don't, because of their, how they've been trained and led down this path, they don't think about chiropractic care for some of these problems, such as asthma. They're thinking of the traditional model.
Because that's how they've been educated. No one's really told them. The schools aren't telling them, 2, 4, and 11. The networks aren't telling them. The medical doctors aren't telling them. So that's the purpose of these videos, is to educate the public so they have an intelligent choice. They have options.
Yeah.
It isn't one cause, one cure. It's many causes, many cures.
Now, when we look at asthma, I know there's different causes of it and different things that can stir that up a little bit. So what can you tell us about that? What are some things that can affect that?
I understand the number one cause of asthma is allergies, okay? And what's the number one allergy? It's dust mites. And you're probably wondering, what's that got to do with it? You spend a third of your life with dust mites. They're in your bed. So let's say you're allergic to dust mites. A third of your life, you're being exposed to something you're allergic to. So of course that's going to affect you. Of course that can cause asthma. So what we do differently, Jerry, we can actually fix that. We do a procedure called allergy elimination technique. Okay, basically what it's doing is sending an impulse or a message to your brain, which is the computer, and the message is while the person holds the vial in their hand, or it's dust mites, ragweed, pollen, the message is to the immune system or to the brain, heal this condition. And we've been doing this for several years, about 16, 17 years, and we get tremendous results with it.
Oh, I know. I've heard some great testimonials in regards to that whole problem. So, I mean, if you're watching this right now and are dealing with allergies, and I know we'll be kind of getting into that season here before too long, now is a great time to come down and meet Dr. Goldberg and talk about that, because I know a lot of people deal with allergies and it's really affects their whole life.
In my experience, Jerry, really it's two things. It's the allergies. Also, it's number two, it's dehydration. People don't realize that people in America are very, very dehydrated. Why? They don't drink enough water. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds. You should drink 100 ounces of water per day. And if you're not doing that, you're drinking Pepsi and Coke, you're not getting water. You're dehydrating yourself even more. And so what happens, Jerry, when you get dehydrated, your bronchial tubes spasm. When your bronchial tubes spasm, guess what it's called, Jerry? Asthma. So if you do the allergy elimination, you get the chiropractic adjustment, you start drinking more water, 99 times out of 100, you can be tremendously helped or cured, and you wouldn't need inhalers.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when we deal with this whole coffee and soda and all that kind of stuff, people are thinking they need that because their energy levels are so low. Now, by taking all that in, that has all these other impacts on your body. So now you've got multiple things going on, really.
It works like a drug. See, what you're doing, the coffee's caffeine, that's a drug, and pop has caffeine, also sugar. I don't know if you noticed, Jared, 50% of supposedly all disease are from sugar. It's a drug. It's refined carbohydrates.
Well, and I think if you need coffee to get up, like I have friends that are like that, they're thinking they can't function until they have their coffee in the morning. You have a problem.
That's definitely right.
You're
whipping the dead horse. Now, we're going to do another show in the future on the adrenal glands. It's a lot of times coming from the adrenal glands, and that produces your adrenaline. So you treat the adrenal glands, and we're going to talk about that 9 times out of 10. I don't drink any coffee, Jerry. I don't need it.
Yeah. And I know we might be going off on some tangents here, but I think it's important to understand that as we look at these things that, chiropractic care, making sure that your body is functioning efficiently. If your body's functioning efficiently, it's going to take care of all these problems that we have. And we have to stop kind of, taking in all this bad stuff and then wondering, oh, how come I'm not, functioning at 100%? A lot of times it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why your body and why you're so tired.
We live in a cause and effect universe. If you have an effect, if you're sick and tired, it's a cause. Okay, we look at the causes. It's your diet, it's your lifestyle, It's your nutrition. You need 90 nutrients a day, and it's your structure. Your brain and your spinal cord controls every cell and organ and muscle. You mentioned functioning. That's what the nervous system does 90% of the time. It's functioning and performance. I get an adjustment for the last 39 years, Jerry. Why? Because I like sticking around this planet.
Yeah. And as you can tell, he always has energy. So that's, that's a big thing. But we really just want to encourage people that if they're dealing with allergies or fatigue or, asthma, any of these things, and even if you're under care of a physician right now, adding Dr. Goldberg to your team of people, because ultimately I think it's important for people to understand that they're actually developing their own team of health professionals that are going to help them stay healthy and live a long and healthy life. We have to stop putting it in the hands of somebody else to make all our decisions.
I'm understanding like one patient will go to 11 different medical doctors, and each medical doctor is giving him 2, 3 drugs. So people come in my office, and I say, how many drugs you take? And they tell me 30. How can you possibly know one doctor's giving him 30 drugs? It's 11 different doctors giving him 1 or 2, which becomes 30. Yeah. So I'd say, stop the insanity. Maybe you don't need any.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, a big problem out there today. I mean, people look at the cost of these drugs, it's causing stress on them. It's, the impact on your body. I mean, the body just doesn't need all that stuff.
There's side effects. There's side effects. That's why maybe you're on 3 drugs, then your side effects, you need 6 for the side effects for the first 3. I'll tell you a funny story. I just heard this recently. There was a woman in hospice care, which you know what that is, and she had like 2 weeks to live, and then they had her all know these 30, 40 different drugs. She says, you know what, I don't want to take my drugs anymore. Let me just die in peace. She got off her drugs. In 2 weeks, she walked out of the hospice. She was cured. Her problem was the drugs.
Yeah.
This is an actual story.
I can believe that. I know people that are walking around in a haze because I don't think there's any way to really understand the interaction of all these drugs.
Nobody does.
When you take, it's just the interaction is too big, right?
Everybody's a biochemical individual. So when a doctor gives you a drug and he gives you 2, 3, the understanding is, Jerry, that's actually a disease. You know what it's called? It's called polypharmacy. If you're taking more than 3 drugs a day, that in itself is a disease. It's called polypharmacy.
Plus, I know that when you put something in your body like that, your body's going to kind of rebound back in some fashion. There's kind of like a give and take there.
Mother Nature, think of it as a baseball game. Baseball's starting tomorrow. She bats last. At the bottom of the 9th inning, whatever you do during the game, Mother Nature, she bats last. She has her say. And you ever hear the expression, you can't fool Mother Nature?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell from, watching our show today, there's just a lot of great reasons why you need to look at chiropractic care and the impact it can have on your life. So we encourage you to, pick up the phone, come down to Wellness Associates, kind of experience the atmosphere down here, the energy that's here. You really meet some great people, get to talk to Dr. Goldberg, and as I always say, one of the greatest things about Wellness Associates is the fact that you offer that new patient free evaluation. I mean, that is just a priceless thing, and really it's a win-win. I mean, there's no way to lose by coming down and getting to know the staff here and meet Dr. Goldberg and look at those problems that you might have. It's a guaranteed win for you, and I think you'll find that, Dr. Goldberg is a team player. He's going to look at everything involved with your situation, and the results, I think, are going to be relatively quick. And, you're just going to, when you walk out of here and you just feel better, people are going to start asking, what are you doing? And it's up to people like us and people like you to pass this word around about chiropractic care and help educate more people. I think that's the only thing holding chiropractic care back is a lack of knowledge in the general, public.
Maybe that's our fault. We didn't educate the public. I think that's one of the purposes of doing these videos is to educate the public so you may have an intelligent choice. You have an intelligent option. I'm into options, Jerry.
Yeah, I think that's, really the key thing. And one thing that you're not going to see is that, you're not going to come down here and Dr. Goldberg's not going to say, hey, get rid of every doctor you have. He wants to be a valuable part of that team. Together, everything functions better. So, with that, we hope you found this show to be educational and informative about this problem of asthma and some of the other things that we discussed. And, we just encourage you to visit our website at AskDrGoldberg.com. A lot of great interactive tools there. You can actually schedule an appointment right online. You can look at some of the reviews. You can check out the Facebook page. I know a lot of people are into Facebook. He's got a great Facebook fan page that you can kind of interact with, and a lot of great articles on there as well. So with that, thank you very much for watching our show today. Be sure to check back regularly. We got some great shows coming up this month, and we really look forward to just helping you deal with these situations and give you that education that you need. So thank you very much for watching our show. We look forward to seeing you on future episodes.